There's usually some element of soul in romantic relationships, but often it's unconscious. In other words, the individual, like you say, they're projecting it onto the other person. As soon as the projection starts to lose its power, then they fall out of love, or they're looking for the next wonderful relationship that's going to give them that high. Because as human beings, we cannot live up to that projection, right, of the divine unto us. We're only human beings, therefore we're going to fall from grace eventually, and that typically ends the superficial relationship.
Yeah. And one of the journey to find that, the journey to find who you really are, is a beautiful journey. And we've done, for how many years, we've done lots of dating, love trainings for singles. And what seems to be very common in relationship coaching is they don't really want to do the work. Many people, they want to just get the gift. They want to find the person, and they're doing it to get the person, and they're not loving the journey. And it's like their happiness is on hold until they meet that person. And so it's a really tough place for that person to be, because you want to really know yourself. So you pick the right one. You resonate with someone who matches who you really are. And one of the things I tell my clients over the years that have been single, and they keep kind of dating person and it doesn't work out, and they date someone else and it doesn't work out. And those of you who've been single for a while, that disappointment after disappointment can wear on you. But the way I frame it is, you're reclaiming a part of yourself back. Even if a relationship doesn't work out, it's an opportunity to always reclaim like lost power that you had been projected onto that person, and you're reclaiming it. So even with the bad relationships, you're actually growing and learning. So you are getting closer. Instead of feeling like everything's on hold until that one person shows up, it's like you're becoming the person through the whole process. And the same thing with marriage. If you're doing couples coaching, they may not work things out for a couple months. There's going to be tough times. It's not like overnight success, we're happy now, but it's using the struggles that happen within the couple to really get closer, to grow together and actually make their bond stronger, and having access to the anima animus within each other, to stop putting all that pressure on the other person to fulfill all your needs all the time.
Yeah, which is a very different approach than, let's say, helping people simply find an appropriate match, somebody that's compatible with their life, right? That's the typical approach. But in this work, we're helping the client essentially take responsibility for their own life, which is, let's say, it's not easy. It requires real acceptance of that responsibility, because it plays out like this, that if you say, I'm not responsible for what happens in my relationship life, right? It's the other person's fault, it's society's fault, it's simply that there are no good people out there or something like that. What you're saying is, I don't have any power, I don't have any say-so in determining the fate of my relationship life.
Yes, and that is so important, because we all think it's about fate. It's one day, it's just the right timing, or if I just date a lot, like if I go out there and something's going to work out. But it's you're responsible for everyone you pick, and every relationship. And again, not to blame, like there's very terrible relationships people get into, and extreme abuse and all that. We're not talking about that you created that. But it's to say, like, how do I not do that anymore? How can I not be so afraid of that happening again? One of the things I noticed too with people is they have been heartbroken, and they're so afraid of getting hurt again. That kind of fear that there's this power out there that someone is going to steal their heart again. So they just don't even bother. And this type of work, this depth coaching work, helps someone become self-empowered, because they'll know in their heart who they want to be with, and it's not just this random accident that this person's going to come break their heart again, and they feel so whole. And I remember doing this work and knowing that no matter what happens in any relationship, that I have control over my own response to it, and my own control over what growth I can have with this, versus it's good or bad, black and white.